Hello, my name is Mitch and I draw Blood Force, and today we're taking a look at Darker Image, number 1 of many, right? Well, no, this is the only one, but it's an interesting comic anyway. So before we get into it, I'll just do the quick promo thing. So every video I start off by saying, hello, my name is Mitch and I draw Blood Force. You probably just heard it. And in case you weren't sure, this is Blood Force. Blood Force is a comic book I'm creating. It is a celebration / send-up of 90s extreme comics. And the first issue is complete. We're just kind of in limbo while I get the funds together for publication. And if you'd like to speed up that process, what you do, you go to the link in the description that will take you to my Patreon. Subscribe there, because I need your help in order to get this thing over the finish line. And warm fuzzies from helping a comic creator are not all you get by subscribing to my Patreon. You also get access to the entire Blood Force library, which is growing by the week, as well as all these videos and some exclusive content. So subscribe today, and soon we'll all get the Blood Force comics we've been waiting for. Thanks very much for listening. Now we'll get back to your regularly scheduled video about speed lines and shit. So, Darker Image number 1 came out March of 1993. We're still in the first year of Image Comics as a company. I'm not sure. I don't know what they were trying to go for here. Like if they meant for this to be a running anthology kind of thing, maybe, or like just introduce some side projects, because we already have had a couple of side projects from Rob. We've had Supreme, we've had Brigade, Bloodstrike I think is already out, and from Jim Lee, Stormwatch is coming out this month, and he's doing Deathblow in April, I believe. And these guys aren't any more grim and gritty than the usual Liefeld Jim Lee guys, so I'm not sure how it fits into Darker Image exactly, but that's okay, I guess. And we're also going to introduce the Maxx, whatever the hell that is, by Sam Kieth. And we're going to get Sam Kieth to do the cover, too, which is cool. Sam Kieth, I've read a couple of things about him from before this, and he seems like a guy who doesn't have well, I don't know how he is anymore. At this time, though, he seemed like a guy who didn't have a lot of faith in his own talents. Definitely when he was doing Sandman, and I think when he was doing Marvel Comics Presents, too. And, I mean, on Sandman, part of that is because of the editors kept saying, they didn't want him on it, from what I understand. But it seems like the Image guys are big Sam Kieth fans, and they want to make sure his shit is successful if he wants to make a go of it. So they're going to give him the cover, which might not have been the best move, actually, because that's a better shot of Bloodwulf than we get in the entire comic. That's okay, though. Pretty cool cover. So we're going to start off with the Maxx. I didn't read a ton of the Maxx, which is a bad thing, because that means I have no idea what it was supposed to be about. I don't know if Sam Kieth yet knows what it was meant to be about. He might. He may very well. I sure as shit don't know. So it's going to be a lot of cool shots and weird layouts and sort of dreamlike imagery. So this is story and art by Sam Kieth, dialogue by Bill Mesner-Loebs, who's worked with him before, I believe. He also did the comic Journey, from what I recall. And this was, Sam Kieth did not have faith in his abilities as a writer at this point. I think he was like, okay, I can try drawing a thing, but I can't write shit. I need somebody to help me out with that. And then eventually he took over the writing duties on that too. So we're going to start off with kind of a thing that we've seen before from his Marvel Comics Presents days. There's a shot of Wolverine that's kind of iconic, him perching on a log like this. I don't think that's the one, though, where he's got the telephone cords hanging off him, which was sort of the Sam Kieth thing at that time. There's that one shot of Die Hard where Rob Liefeld tried imitating it, and I don't think he ever tried it again, because that looks fucking hard. But it looks great, and Sam Kieth definitely has a thing for like going above and beyond when it comes to mixing medias. Like, he's not just using, you know, I'm going to use nibs on this and paint brushes, but I'm also going to use like some fine liners, and maybe I'll do some weird shit like doing cutouts or collages. Like, he's going to do so much more. You have no idea. I don't know if there's a Sam Kieth artist edition out. There is some of those Marvel covers ones where he did, and they just look like they're a mess. Like, there's so much shit all over them. And this little preview thing here for the Maxx doesn't really... it's really just kind of here to give you the feel for what the Maxx is, I think. It doesn't set up anything, really. Just he's out in the outback, and some big giant kind of thing with a giant sledgehammer comes after him. Like, we're already getting the weird panel layouts here. No panel border here, but like this is amazing looking imagery. And then it's gonna chase after, and it's, you know, it's gonna. There's a lot of effort into it, but there's still gonna be cartoony elements, stuff like this, and yeah, with the lettering getting really involved with the art, I think in some of those cases, Sam Kieth is doing the lettering as well. And then we get really abstract with the panel designs. And that's going to be a regular thing in the Maxx comic. And yeah, and then it turns out maybe this is all a dream. Because this is the Jungle Queen, like he busts into whatever this structure is here. Looks like it's just a hill, but it turns out there's scaffolding underneath it. So he busts into it. Oh shit, there's a jungle inside it. And then the Jungle Queen is there, the she-devil. And she stabs him, and then it turns out that's Julie, who is actually some kind of social worker, and she's taking care of him after he busted into her apartment and fell unconscious. And Julie's going to have her own fashion style, because that's, you know, that's how Sam Kieth rolls. And this is apparently something that the Maxx does, where he just kind of busts into her house every once in a while, and she fixes him up, and then he like screams out her window, and then runs away again. And then we get a shot that I don't think really gets repeated. Very big signature on it. Like this particular style I don't think gets repeated. You can tell, though, there's a bunch of white media in here. And then, like, he's using brushes here, and then he's got some nibs going. Like, he's using everything, because that's just how Sam Kieth goes. And yeah, so this isn't a bad introduction, because I mean, you're left with no idea what the comic's about. Just that it's gonna look pretty cool, and it's probably gonna be kind of confusing. Oh yes, and this is. Sorry, I did miss this before. This was the real world, I guess, version of his hallucination. That's how this is kind of meant to be read. Where she lives in like Gotham City, apparently, where there's like fucking gargoyles just on regular apartment buildings. All right. So yeah, that's the Maxx, and like I said, that Maxx #1 is going to come out this same month. So I feel like that they could have scheduled that a little bit better. But they're not going to slow down Sam Kieth, because he's going to have enough trouble keeping on with the schedule anyway. So second story in this is Bloodwulf. And so Bloodwulf is Rob Liefeld's Lobo. And it's an interesting little exercise, because he's going to try this kind of Keith Giffen-y. It's more Keith Giffen than Simon Bisley art style, I think. Where it's, yeah, it's super loose and goofy. And there's like no story to this at all. Just he shows up. I mean, there wasn't to the Maxx either. So I guess that's one of the themes of Darker Image. We don't do story around here. But like, you know, you can already see this is not like the Maxx issue was not a dark thing. This is goofy, if anything. although it's going to get bloody. Bloodwulf shows up at a planet, I think. Yeah, and pretends to be a courier, and he's gonna assassinate the guy running the planet, who insulted his grandmother. And this almost isn't there's Lobo, which feels like it's supposed to be a joke, but there's no joke to it. And he's gonna go even more ham with the pockets. So I feel like he's been called out on this before, and he's like, fine, you think it's funny when I do pockets? I'm going to put pockets on the actual foot. I just noticed that. Yeah, that's definitely a joke then. He doesn't repeat it here either. So that's supposed to be like a clapback, I think. And I don't know. I would have liked to have seen Rob try this style a bit more. I just don't know how much fun he's having with it. I think it was good for this 8 pages or whatever it is. Oh, Jesus, we're going to do Dooms 4 soon too, eh? Yeah, because he's willing to put in some work in the background as long as it doesn't have to be too rigid. Like, he doesn't have to make it look like anything. If he can just kind of noodle a little bit of something that kind of looks like details, he's okay with it. And then he leaves the package on the desk, and I guess that's going to blow up the whole planet. And we get... This is his attempt at a Simon Bisley shot. And, that's as violent as Rob can make something. And he drew the thing, and then decided it wasn't quite violent enough, so he drew an extra eyeball out here, but didn't put too much thought into it. And then this is another one that I think is a direct reference to a Lobo cover or ad or something. There's one I kind of remember that looked like that. And then, Cable chases after him because this story isn't super serious, I think. And this stuff here, this is, Rob's having fun here. And he's going to do a Han Solo where he turns a corner. And there's a bunch of guards there right away. But he's putting some detail on these guards and making them look a little bit different and putting some expressions on their faces. It's the same expression on every face, but that's okay. But like I said, he's having some fun with this. And then just he shoots them all. And then this is the one bit of kind of cleverness in this story, where it turns out his bike is also a gun. And that kills everybody that was following him. And then, he's again. This is sort of a classic Liefeld panel where you do the one very, very tiny panel at the bottom of a page, but it actually kind of works in this case because it's kind of silly. And then you get sort of time lapse. I feel like it should have been smaller there because that he barely moved here. Where flipping back and forth between the planet and the bomb, or Bloodwulf and the bomb, and then the planet blows up. So that bomb blew up that whole planet. That was the story. But it's not any more realistic than his usual stuff, but it looked like he was having more fun with it. I wouldn't have minded seeing Rob try to do more with that style. And then we get Deathblow, which is just kind of weird. You get a whole bunch of Brandon Choi dialogue, where this is, he's kind of riffing on Miller, on Sin City, and so is Jim Lee, with the look of it, where he's every once in a while he's not doing holding lines. That's about it. And then he still kind of fills up the interior. And this is all Jim Lee doing the art too. He doesn't have an inker, so he's doing this all himself. A whole bunch of noodling. I don't know if you've ever seen his live streams. He's a bit of a sloppy inker, but it tends to work for him. And this is just kind of an exaggeration of that. And yeah, he's doing like an Apocalypse Now, riding down the story here is he's going to assassinate. What was it? His team got captured by some Colombian drug lord person. He escaped, but his buddies didn't. His buddy got tortured and executed, so he's going to sneak back in to kill him now that he's been diagnosed with cancer. I don't know that this was the place to do that, really. That's not, you don't do that in an 8-page. Nah. You do get this shot in here, which is the big reveal, right? And again, see, he's not doing holding lines, but the backgrounds are black, and he didn't make Deathblow light enough. So, you know, because he's just going overboard with the lines. So he still had to put an outline around it. So he might as well. And then, yeah, there are holding lines there. So it's like he can't make up his mind. I guess this isn't like a new style he's trying. So he's not super consistent with it. It's not like he's inventing this style like Miller was. Even then, Miller's not really inventing it, but like he came upon it naturally over the course of years. This is just Jim Lee going, I'm going to draw like Frank Miller for a while, and it doesn't really hold up. I mean, it looks good. That's pretty good drawing of Deathblow. And then we get into all this stuff where we're explaining the backstory of Deathblow. Like I said, I don't think this is the kind of thing you put into an 8-page backup story. Or like an anthology thing, that sort of thing. This should just be a one-shot adventure, I would think. Or like Bloodwulf, really. You know, there wasn't a lot to it, but like, well, I was gonna say you can't do a lot of story in 8 pages. Yeah, you've seen from Marvel Comics Presents. Yeah, you kind of can, depending on who your writer is and who your artist is and all that kind of stuff. But this is Image, you know. They're not gonna write something super clever. But this is, yeah. I guess we get a lot of these splash page kind of things. Well, a lot, you know. Like I said, it's only 8 pages. This is, like, there's nothing super cool on these, but then there's this. And then there's nothing super cool on this, but then there's this, which is not super cool, but at least it's a big drawing, I suppose. And this is like as Frank Miller as he can get. And then, yeah, they send the Predator guys in after him, including Blackbird. He's a ranger, and rumor has it that there's nothing on this planet he can't track. And I have to wonder if this person might be Native American. Probably not. And that's it. That's the whole thing. Yeah, I mean, it's the kind of thing where if Jim Lee is going to keep drawing it, and he's going to keep drawing it in this style, you'd be interested, although that would mean that he's not drawing Wildcats, right? So, I think he does draw the first couple. Yeah, he draws the first 3, and he's doing covers for the first 12, so he's got a bit of dedication to this particular project. I guess he likes it. But then after issue 3, Tim Sale's drawing it, so that's a bit of a departure. I can kind of see it with this, after this art style, though. So that's interesting. I should pick up Deathblow 2 and 3. I do have number 1. I think this is the copy I had in 1993, too, because that is beat the fuck up. But, yeah, this one came out in April. And there's a clever cover. Huh? Yeah, I mean, at least the logo stands out. But yeah, you know, you pick this up in 1993. It's like, what? Oh wait, but I think there's a drawing under there somewhere. You know? So yeah, March 1993, Dark Image number 1 and Maxx number 1. So I mean, yeah, they could have timed that a bit better. And then April, you get Deathblow number 1. So I guess Bloodwulf number 1's right around the corner, eh? Nope. Came out in, I think it was February of 1995. But, I mean, the fact that it came out at all was shocking to me. I had no idea there had ever been a Bloodwulf. I don't mean it was shocking to me in 1995. I mean it was shocking to me when I found out in 2022. Because I've never heard that there had been a Bloodwulf. It's not drawn by Rob Liefeld. It might be written by him. No, it's not. So, I mean, Rob Liefeld doesn't have anything to do with Bloodwulf after this 8-page thing. That's okay. I wouldn't expect it anyway. But, the fact that there was a Bloodwulf after this and that it wasn't just these 8 pages was shocking, as I said. But, yeah, this is, there never was a Darker Image number 2. So, yeah, this one's kind of just a singular artifact by itself. And it's interesting. Like I said, there's nothing in here that's bad. The writing in Deathblow isn't great, but the art style is weird and at the very least solid. It's some of the just more creative stuff that's in terms of artwork that Rob Liefeld's ever done. And then you get whatever the fuck Maxx is. For $3 Canadian, eesh, really that much? In 1993? Okay. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. $2.50 American. You're kind of getting your money's worth a little bit. Is that how much these ones cost too? Maxx was $1.95 American, $2.40. Yeah, no. So this is some kind of special edition shit. Deathblow. Well, who knows what the price on that was? We don't need to put prices on books. You're gonna buy it anyway. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this one. If you like this video, please hit like and hit subscribe and notifications so you'll be advised when I drop more of these. You can also go over to my Twitter and subscribe there. I'll put notifications up all the time. But most important one is to go over to my Patreon and subscribe there. Because by giving me your money, you help to get Blood... I was going to say Dark Force. Nah, Blood Force. Get that on the shelf. There'll be more than one issue because I'm already working on issue 2. How crazy is that? And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks again. Bye-bye.